It wasn't an easy decision for Chelsea to let go of Eden Hazard after 7 successful years at Stamford Bridge. It was a transfer that put tears in the eyes of most Chelsea supporters, as Hazard is considered one of the greatest players in the club's history. But is he the only player Chelsea regret allowing to leave the club? This video will thus be having a look at 6 players Chelsea regret selling. 1. Juan Mata. Most Chelsea fans will never forgive Portuguese manager Jose Mourinho for selling one of the club's most creative players in the person of Juan Mata. It all happened in January 2014 when Chelsea announced that they had accepted a bid in the region of £37.1 million for Mata, who himself was keen on securing first-team football. The move didn't go down well with Chelsea fans, as Mata was a fan's favourite during his 2.5-year spell at West London with the Blues. In that short period as a Chelsea player, Juan Manuel Garcia Mata conquered Stamford Bridge with his immense talent, as he was voted 2 times Chelsea Player of the Season, winning the club's biggest individual accolade back-to-back. However, everything changed for the mercurial playmaker when Jose Mourinho returned to coach Chelsea for the 2nd time, and one player who suffered from the return of the special one was Juan Mata. From being one of the very first names on the Chelsea team list, Mata gradually became a bench warmer at the club he dominated for 2 consecutive seasons, all because he couldn't meet up with Mourinho's demands on the pitch. He eventually left the Blues for bitter rivals Manchester United in the winter of 2014, but is, till today, a transfer decision that Chelsea regrets, as they still haven't been able to find a player in the mould of Mata. The Spanish playmaker has a lot of good memories at Chelsea, which makes it difficult for fans to forget him in a hurry, notably his heroics at the Alliance Arena in 2012. Recall that it was Mata's set piece from a corner that led to the equaliser from Didier Drogba that night, with Chelsea eventually going on to win their first ever Champions League trophy. 2. Arjen Robben. Considered by many as one of the greatest left-footed players of all time, but despite his enormous talent, Robben was sold by Chelsea in 2017, a transfer decision the club definitely regrets till date. The Dutch wing wizard was one of the new faces that ushered in the success of the Roman Abramovich era at Chelsea after signing from PSV in 2004. Robben would go on to help Chelsea win back-to-back English Premier League titles in his first 2 seasons at West London. However, things went bad for the Dutch sensation, as an injury-inflicted 3rd season with Chelsea saw the Blues lose patience with Robben and eventually sold him to Spanish giants Real Madrid. But if Chelsea had known what Robben would have still gone on to achieve in his career, with the likes of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich despite being injury-prone as they feared, the Blues would have exercised more patience with the Dutch wizard. Robben's sale in 2007 will definitely be one transfer regret Chelsea wouldn't forget in a hurry, as he went on to become one of the best left-footed wingers to have ever played in Europe, winning a handful of trophies and individual accolades. 3. Mohamed Salah. A young Mohamed Salah arrived at Chelsea in 2014 from Basel with the dream of becoming one of the best players in the world. But Chelsea, in their usual fashion, weren't patient enough with the Egyptian and sold him off 2 seasons later. Bring your minds back to 2022 and you will agree with me that the decision to let go of Mohamed Salah is one transfer decision the Blues will keep regretting for a very long time. Speaking about his decision to quit Chelsea after 2 disappointing seasons, Salah said in an interview, "When I look back, I had bad advice with the situation. It was so tough for me mentally. I couldn't handle the pressure I had from the media coming from outside. I was not playing that much. I felt, no, I need to go." It will be a transfer that the Blues will look upon with much regret, as Salah has gone on to become one of the best players in world football, and Chelsea's loss has been Liverpool's gain. Also, not only has Salah been terrific since leaving Chelsea in 2016, he has now been a thorn in the flesh of the West London club, scoring a combined total of 7 goals against his former club side in 17 appearances across all competitions. 4. Romelu Lukaku. Dubbed the next Didier Drogba, during his time at FC Anderlecht, a young Romelu Lukaku was signed by Chelsea in the summer of 2011, and hopes were high that he would be able to fill the boots of his idol Drogba, who himself is a Chelsea legend. Such a young player with enormous talent, but the environment at Chelsea just wasn't conducive to nurturing his development into a world-class star, and as such, Lukaku struggled to adapt to life at the London club. He spent 3 seasons with the Blues, which involved 2 separate loan spells at West Bromwich Albion and Everton, respectively. Lukaku was eventually sold by Chelsea in the summer of 2014, with English Premier League side Everton making his loan move permanent. While Chelsea received the sum of £28 million for his transfer to Goodison Park, they didn't know that they had just made a mistake in selling a player who will go on to become one of the most feared and lethal strikers in Europe. Fast forward to the summer of 2021, Chelsea will then have to pay Inter Milan the huge sum of £97.5 million, a club record fee for the services of the same player they sold 7 seasons back. Although Lukaku is currently a Chelsea player, the Blues will be regretting selling their top striker years back, as they would have saved a whole lot of money in the process. 5. Kevin De Bruyne. Signed from Belgian side Genk in the summer of 2012, Chelsea didn't know they had secured the services of one of the greatest playmakers of the modern-day football era. Despite having enormous talents, the young De Bruyne struggled to find his feet at Chelsea. The environment wasn't conducive for his growth. He was eventually sent out on a season-long loan to Werder Bremen in 2013 to improve his game, of which he did relatively well in Germany. De Bruyne was brought back to the Chelsea team in 2014 to kick-start the second era of Jose Mourinho. Despite having a great debut in which he provided the assist for Chelsea's opener through Oscar, the Belgian struggled to make an impact that season. He was then sold to VfL Wolfsburg in 2016, a transfer decision Chelsea regrets till date, as De Bruyne has scored 5 Premier League goals against his former club. 6. Eden Hazard. Of course, this compilation wouldn't be complete without mentioning Chelsea legend Eden Hazard, who was sold by the Blues in 2019 to Real Madrid in a deal worth €100 million. In a quest to fulfill his long-time dream of playing for Real Madrid, and also under his idol Zinedine Zidane, Hazard left Chelsea after 7 good seasons. In his very last game for the Blues, which came against Arsenal in the Europa League final in 2019, of which he scored twice, Hazard suggested, after the game, that it probably was the very last time he would play for Chelsea. He was very much loved and adored by Chelsea fans, as his skills, goals, assists and dribbles helped create a legacy in the hearts of the fans who sang his praises week in, week out during his time at West London. Chelsea as a club still miss a player like Eden Hazard, as he is definitely irreplaceable and will regret ever letting him leave Stamford Bridge. So, just in case you have any other player you feel Chelsea regrets selling and you will love to share it, please do well to drop your opinions in the comments section below this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss our future videos.